Hi all. Now today we can discuss about the federal feature of India. What makes India a federal country? The Constitution declared India as a union of states. Now some countries are having unitary system of government, some countries have federal form of government, but the Constitution of India has declared India as a union of states. So India has some features of unitary system and some features of federal system, but it is not a pure unitary system or not a pure federal system, but it has been declared as union of states. Now the legislative powers of India have been divided into four lists. Union list consisting of 97 subjects of national importance. So very important subjects of national importance have been included in the union list. It consists of 97 subjects. And only the central government can take decisions over subjects involved in the union list. Example, defense and currency. So a decision regarding defense can be taken only by the central government. Issuing currency and decisions regarding the currency will be taken only by the central government. So such kind of major 97 subjects are included in the union list. Second is the state list consisting of 66 subjects. The subjects that are less importance have been given to the state government, and only the state government can take the decision over the subjects involved in the state list. So center has no role to interfere in the list of the state list. It contains subjects of state and local importance. Example are police and agriculture. So only state government will take the decision. There are 66 subjects. Next comes the concurrent list. It consists of 47 subjects. It includes subjects of common interest to both the union government as well as the state government. So the subjects of concurrent list are common for both the center as well as for the state government. So either the center can take the decision or the state can take the decision. But if there is a conflict between the center and the state, the decision taken by the union government will prevail. So both the union as well as the state government can make laws on the subjects involved. If there is a conflict, the law made by the union government will prevail. Now example for concurrent list are education, marriage, divorce, adoption. Now if the marriage is between two states, and if there is any issue, any divorce case, any complicated issue, they can approach the High Court of the respective states, or they can approach the Supreme Court. So the decision can be taken either by the center or by the state. So children, if they are studying in the state board or the CBSE board or the state board of other states, they can, if there is any issue, they can approach the High Court of their concerned state or the Supreme Court of India. Similarly, adopting a child from other state, if there is any problem, they can approach the concerned High Court as well as the Supreme Court. So always if there is conflict, the decision taken by the union government will be accepted. Then there is a fourth list called the residuary list. Now during the time of framing the constitution, certain subjects were not included. So such kind of subjects are all included in the residuary list. So subjects that are not mentioned in any of the three lists are included in this list. Number of subjects are not specified in the residuary list, and union government has the power to make the decisions. So the subjects that are not involved in any of the three lists, union list, state list or concurrent list, will be included in the residuary list, and only the central government has the power to take the decision. Example for subjects are computer software. Now some states enjoy special power or special status in India. For For example, Jammu and Kashmir had a separate constitution. Many provisions of the Indian constitution are not applicable to the state without the approval of the state assembly. Indians who are not permanent residents of the state cannot buy land or house here. So, according to the Article 370 of Indian Constitution introduced in 1954, the part of Article 35A states that Jammu and Kashmir will have a separate constitution, and the provisions of Indian Constitution, many provisions of Indian Constitution will not be applicable to the state of Jammu and Kashmir without the approval of the state assembly. And the people from Indians from other states can work in Jammu and Kashmir, they can study in Jammu and Kashmir, but they cannot purchase land or house in Jammu and Kashmir. So a separate constitution existed for Jammu and Kashmir according to Article 370. But last year it has changed. Change of status of Jammu and Kashmir. On 5th August 2019, the Home Minister Amit Shah introduced the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Bill 2019 in the Rajya Sabha to convert Jammu and Kashmir status of a state to two separate union territories, namely Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and Union Territory of Ladakh. So, on 5th August 2019, Article 370 has been cancelled. So, now Jammu and Kashmir has no separate state. Jammu and Kashmir is no more a state. Now, in India, there are only 28 states. Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh has become two separate union territories in India. There are some more units of the Indian Union which enjoy very little power and are too small to become independent state. So there are some more small territories in India called union territories. They are not recognized as states. These are recognized as union territories, and the in charge of the union territories are the representatives of the president, lieutenant governor. Lieutenant governor is in charge of the union territories. There are 9 union territories in India. Example for union territories, Chandigarh and Lakshadweep. So union territories are not recognized as state. They are small units. They are under the control of the president. So the representative of the president, lieutenant governors are in charge of the union territories. The central government has special powers in running these areas. So the union territories are all under the control of the central government. For any amendment to be made in the Constitution of India, it has to be first passed by both the houses of parliament with at least 2/3 majority. Then it has to be ratified by the legislature of at least half of the total states. Now, if an amendment has to be made in the Constitution of India, first the bill has to be passed, introduced either in the Lok Sabha or in the Rajya Sabha, and it has to be passed by simple majority, that is 1/3 majority. And after a few days, the same bill is passed in the parliament in the same house with a majority of about 2/3 majority, where most of the members must be present in the same house, and it has to be approved by at least 2/3 majority. So if one house approves the bill, it will be sent to the second house. In the second house also the same procedure has to be followed. Then it has to be ratified by the legislature. Then it has to be approved by at least 50% of the total state legislative assembly members. Then it will be sent to the president, and when the president signs, it becomes a law. So the amendment procedure in the federal system requires the consent of both the union government as well as the state government. In case of any dispute about the divisions of power, the High Court and the Supreme Court make a decision. Now, if there is any dispute between the center or the state, any kind of confusions are arising, that will be clarified either by the state High Court or by the Supreme Court. The union and state governments have the power to raise resources by levying taxes in order to carry on the government and the responsibilities assigned to them, each of them. Now, separate administration is required for the union government as well as for the state government. So, for meeting the expenses, they are collecting the taxes. So, they are raising the resources. How? By levying taxes. They are charging taxes in order to carry on the government and the responsibility. So, we are paying different types of taxes to the government. Some taxes are going to the center, some to the state and some to the local government. That also, which all tax will go to the center, which will go to the state, that is all clearly specified in the constitution to avoid any kind of conflict. So, these are the federal features of Indian constitution. Thank you all.